head to the pole. Watch out, 'cause I'm in my zone.
No mai, haere mai, and welcome to Pettigrew Green Arena for this round 15 clash in the NZNBL, proudly brought to you by GJ Gardner Homes. Miles Pearce here alongside Clifton Bush Jr. in what could be the biggest game of the regular season. Cliff, it comes down to this. Winning in for the Hawks. Rams have got to win by 3 to avoid a bit of a mess in the ladder after the Hawks beat them on the buzzer down south.
Hey, this is definitely the biggest games that the Hawks have ever had here in Napier since they were in the finals way back when I was playing. You know,
that was a long time ago.
That's about 100 years ago. But the buzz around town for the last week has just been through the roof. So it's time.
It's
time,
absolutely
baby.
fantastic as we have a look at the ladder here, and you can see the position. The Hawks right now sitting in 5th, the Rams in 7th, but that can all change very, very quickly with today's game. The Nuggets, of course, coming up in a game tomorrow, and we've also got a game this afternoon with the Tuatara taking on the Saints. So some really big games this weekend.
Huge games, and the league this year has been so close. Any team could beat any team on a given night.
And as we mentioned, the Tuatara take on the Saints tonight at Event Finder in a huge doubleheader. The Kahu playing before that, the Nuggets and the Bulls tomorrow, and then Wednesday it all starts. Final 6, 3rd versus 6th. The problem is we don't know.
We don't know. We don't know. What a beautiful thing, Miles. What a beautiful thing that is, man.
So we don't quite know what's going on yet with the final placings. We do know that the Nackies in number 1 and have locked in that spot first time since 1992.
Wow, 92. That was even before I came here.
And that's been a minute. So huge congratulations to Coach Adam and the guys there. Mike Fitchett locking in 2nd place with the Nelson Giants. So absolutely huge game as we see the Rams warming up, seeing the Rams starters, Austin, Brown, Karina, Moya, and Detch under the tutelage of Judd Flavel. Obviously, great having him back here, and I caught up with Judd not long ago. Afternoon, Judd. Welcome to Hawke's Bay. It's been a interesting year, ups and downs. You've got some guys in and out, injuries, national team duties. How have you settled down and prepared for this one?
Well, for starters, it's good to have some of those guys back. So, you know, I think we've been building slowly over the last month. I mean, yeah, it has been one of those seasons for us, but I think just, you know, in the last couple of weeks, having those boys come back, Sunday and Taylor, obviously 2 big pieces, we've been able to find some continuity, and last week was a good performance, and tonight, obviously, it's an important one for both teams.
Very important for both teams, basically winning in. Last time you guys met, a little bit of a spectacular finish with a buzzer beater. So what have you got up your sleeve in preparation for this?
Oh, that would be giving away my secrets. Well, I mean, look, I think both teams, well, obviously Hawke's Bay are very up and down. They like to get up and down the floor. High-paced team, got plenty of weapons on the perimeter, and it bolstered on the inside. So, yeah, they're a tough group. And obviously, you know, for us, we feel like we match up with that. We've got some size of our own. We've also got, I think, you know, some perimeter defense there. And so, yeah, I think this will be a good matchup. I think for us, controlling tempo is going to be a huge key, and making sure that we pick our moments and also execute our game plan, you know. And, yeah, I think that's one of the big keys for tonight.
Thank you very much. Good luck. And Judd understands the importance of this game and what it means to the club and the league in general. So we've got the Hawke's Bay guys there finishing their warm-up. The ageless wonder, Jared Kenny starting, captain Russ Batch, AG, Harrison, Salt, and quite a big lineup for the Hawks there. Jordan comes in with a bit of an ankle thing, and I caught up with Mick and asked him about that not long ago. Good afternoon, Coach. It all comes down to this, winning in, basically. So how have you guys prepared for this one?
Same as every other week, Miles. It is fun, though, to finish the season with a, you know, do or die. I guess it's a precursor to the finals next week. Whichever team's good enough today sets them up pretty good for elimination games next week.
and a little niggle with Jordan Hunt. Is he good to go?
Yeah, he'll be good to go. He, just a little ankle sprain at practice during the week, and a couple of other guys just with small things, but that's expected at this time of the year. I don't think there'd be too many rosters that would be 100% healthy. So I think game day's that anecdote, right? Makes everyone healthy. So we're fired up and can't wait.
Awesome. Congratulations. Good luck for the game. And Cliff, as we mentioned, such an important game. Let's have a look at some stats as the head-to-head. Both teams not too far apart in points per game. Turnover margin not too far apart, although the 2 versus 9 isn't favouring the Hawks there. What do you get out of this?
Well, I can tell you what, the Hawks better take care of the ball tonight, or else those golf clubs will be warm in the morning.
That's true. That's very, very true. We have officials here for the game tonight. Sam Pan, Corey Hogg, and Tim Brown. And I'm sure they're ready to get this game underway.
Oh, this is going to be an awesome game, MP. I'm telling you right now, both teams want it, man, want it. I was talking to some of the guys, the Hawks players earlier. They're focused, man. And I know the Rams are coming here thinking nothing less than a W.
And that's the attitude that both teams need to approach this with, because realistically, the rest of the games they've played don't mean anything.
Nothing.
Every single game. This is just adding to that final series that's getting started at Event Finder. This is just another playoff game.
This is their game 7 right now to move on. I'm going to expect a big game out of Captain Ethan Rusbatch today. Just be mindful of him. He's got that look about him today. He might go 8 for 9 from the 3.
Well, it's got a little more feeling to it as we see the guys get out and get ready for the tip. But Mick Downer came up from the Rams last year.
Yep.
And Jack Salt, Jack Exeter, Derek Alberson all came with him.
Yeah.
And so these two teams are very closely tied, and there are some guys who are unaware of that, but there's a lot of feeling in this one. So unbelievable. Looking forward to what transpires here today at PGA.
Hey, whoever wants it the most, whoever's going to come up with those little 1%ers, like the coaches say, today is going to come out with the win.
As we see Tim Brown ready to get this game underway with Moya and AG. And the Hawks control the tip. Jared Kenny, with his wealth of experience, gets us underway.
First play out, they're looking for Ethan.
Kenny and Salt. And I'm really looking forward to this matchup of Mike Carino and Jack Salt.
That's a lot of beef down there, baby.
As an early foul, Walter Brown picks up his first. Jack Salt able to steady the nerves and get things underway here from the Racine charity stripe.
They made a real effort to try to get Ethan a shot, Ethan Rusbatch, the doctor, a shot straight away to start the game. And then if they couldn't get anything inside, they go to the big fella.
Now, it may just be the way I'm built. I'm sure Willie B, who's sitting on court side on the other side, would agree. But we always got to go to the big fella first. Oh, that's a great way to get us going.
Reward the big fella.
We see Detch down the lane, and that'll count there as we saw a hand knock that from underneath the net.
Ditch wanting a foul there, said he pushed him on the shot. And he got a good argument there, I reckon.
Well, if this game doesn't have some physicality, I'll be very, very surprised. We see a great screen. Kenny get all the way in. Jack Salt unable to stick that back.
Big Jack tried to yank the rim down like Shaquille O'Neal.
And already we're playing at a frenetic pace. Getting up and down the floor.
You can see a little nerves, too, to begin the game, but that's natural.
AG trying to take advantage of some weight down low. Can't get that to go. Detch off and running again.
For the Hawks to come away with this win, AG, he's got to finish those shots. He's got to finish those.
And right now, I completely agree. the Hawks have had a couple of good looks in the key. We see Jack Salt, another step up for Hiram Harris. And Karina with the foul. Harris will go to the line, go to the Racine charity stripe for 2. The Hawks have had some great looks inside. Just haven't connected. Even Jack Salt on the attempted putback dunk hasn't hit. So they're a little cold to start the game.
Oh, I think if you're human, which I'm sure they all are, nobody's a cyborg out there, so they'll be feeling that pressure a little bit to begin the game. But MP, you know, being a former player yourself, that after a few trips down the court, you don't even remember those nerves.
No, not at all. As we see a little hold up here with the officials, just checking something with the score bench. Judd Flavel quick to the action, trying to find out what's going on. Mick Downer follows suit. And Jared Kenny always wants to know what's going on. So just trying to sort out.
Something dealing with the scoreboard over here.
Just trying to sort things out as we go. Just to add to the tension. Looks like we've got everything underway, and Hiram Harris will get his 2 from the Racine foul line.
Really good crowd in here tonight. But Hawke's Bay fans always come out and support their team now.
And it's great to see. We've had some absolutely fantastic games this week.
Fantastic.
Tuesday we had the Airs versus Giants, a sellout there. Airs getting up 98-67 to seal their top spot. And then we had the Sharks versus the Bulls, and the Sharks got up and knocked the Bulls out of contention.
Hey,
as we see, speaking of knocking things out, and Harris knocks that down.
Yep, Triple H, baby.
Little full court pressure. Walter Brown catches in the corner, run off the line by Jared Kenny. Austin's pass deflected.
Great defense there from the Hawks.
And a little bit of miscommunication from AG and Ruspatch.
With that head-to-head that we saw pre-game, turnovers. Hey, turnovers are going to be huge here. Whoever can control that, get more shots than the other team, baby, you can always win.
And the numbers weren't very far apart. It's just that there was a plus in front of one and a minus in front of one, which changes everything.
Definitely.
As Salt comes down with a strong rebound underneath, and Kenny's out directing traffic. 19 years, and he still looks like he's
21.
Yeah, getting it done. Harris knocks down the 3.
Triple H.
And that's probably one of the biggest work-ons in his game, is the ability to knock that 3 down at a consistent level. And he's been doing a much better job throughout the season.
Oh, don't underestimate that jump shot, because he puts the work in on it.
As we see Harris guarding Detch. Detch able to get into the lane and knock that down. The basket should count here.
Yeah, I think it will.
And Austin picks up the offensive foul on the rebound. So basket is good. Austin picks up the foul, which is the 3rd foul for the Rams.
2.5 minutes.
And that Racine charity stripe get a real workout for the Hawks if they try and take advantage.
And the Rams can't afford to have any of their starting 5 in foul trouble early. The Hawks will definitely take advantage of that.
Salt well off there, catches the side of the backboard. Hiram Harris doing what he does best, putting his body on the line, taking a charge there. 4th team foul for the Canterbury Rams.
He's trying to argue the fact that he didn't have room to come down, but 2 feet did hit the ground before he ran someone over.
And that's 2 on Austin, and he's such an important piece to this Rams side, but Judd Flavel's got to make a change right now.
Well, when you can bring in a Taylor Britt off the bench to replace him, I think you're doing all right.
Taylor Britt recently returned from that amazing effort for the Tall Blacks, winning bronze at the Asia Cup. It's a fairly handy replacement. Import out, Tall Black in.
Definitely. But if you're the Rams, you want all of your top guys, especially your top 6, to not be in foul trouble in order to get this win tonight, because that could cost them the game.
Well, like we mentioned earlier, winning in for the Hawks, and after the tough loss at home to the Hawks, the Rams have got to win by 3 or more to avoid what could only be described as a quagmire in that battle to get to the top 6 at Event Finder starting next week.
Yeah, it's going to have to be some Einstein work happening to see who make it then, if that happens.
Hugh Bain and his abacus, as we see a flare screen out, and Ethan Rusbatch missed that. AG keeps that alive. Offensive rebound, earning the extra possession, as we see Ethan Rusbatch all the way and finish at the rim.
The doctor, Ethan Rusbatch, if he's aggressive, that's a great sign for the Hawks.
Well, those are a little too easy getting in the lane. You see Mike Karina pick and pop, knocking down that. Rams taking back the lead by 1.
Karina's been on fire, man, from the 3 for the last few games.
He really has, and at the start of the season, we see Harris finish a tough one there over Walter Brown. I love the development of Karina's game throughout this season. The start of the season, he was only picking and diving. As the season's gone on, he's been shooting more jumpers. We pick some pops there off the Brits' work. Detch again on the right hand. Can't get that to go, and fouled by Ethan Rusbatch.
Hey, Sunday Ditch is playing basketball out there like no one can guard him. That's how he is attacking the hoop. I know that feeling out there on the court, and I'm sure you do too, MP. He's looking at the person in front of him saying, there's no way they can stop me, and he's just being totally aggressive, man.
Well, he came off such a fantastic season in the Australian League, and it's come here, and you can see so much of that influence across the NBL here. We've got a number of guys. Hiram Harris came back, Jordan Hunt. Yep. We've got just all over the place. Right. And I think it's a great crossover to have Jared Kenny coming back from the Cairns Taipan. So it's definitely a thing. It's definitely a great thing to have. And Sunday Detch, as you said, doing very well in that league and extremely well in this one.
Yeah, Sunday Detch is one of the best two-way players to play in the NBL.
Oh, no doubt.
Offense and defense.
We see the Rams with a little press of themselves. Jerome Rokawa, AG can't quite handle that one.
And there's another turnover, and that's exactly what the Hawks don't want. A little bit of butterfingers there. If that ball hits you in the hand, coach used to say, and it goes out of bounds, that's your fault. It hit you in the hands. It ain't the passer's fault.
As we see Cook Green, Detch finally misses one inside.
But he is overly aggressive in this game. I mean, every time he's touching it, he's looking to take someone. Sunday Detch.
Kenny working off the Jordan Hunt screen there.
We got a mouse in the house. Taller person and shorter person in the post.
Harris needed to get something up on the shot clock. There's Detch with Daron Rokawa guarding him there. AG helps out, and Mike Karina just ran straight through Rokawa. He's got a great pass and catch, unable to finish inside. And Joe Cook Green pushing the tempo back towards the Hawks.
Yeah, AG's got to finish that. He's just got to come down on 2 feet, get a gather step, and finish.
No one really able to connect from 3 in these last ones. Hiram Harris hauls something out, gets a set, as we see Rokawa attack Joe Cook Green off the dribble, get to his preferred mid-range.
He is a mid-range king. Missed that one, but don't give him too many of those.
And no one picked up Brett. Unlucky there not to get a foul or score, but no one was picking up the ball.
Quite unlucky not to get a foul there. And there, referees are letting them play, baby, rugby styles.
And with the level of importance of this game, we mentioned that this is a playoff atmosphere and really another playoff game for these two teams. And the referees are calling it that way.
Hey, and I love that the referees are letting them play. And I know the players will too, but let's see if that's going to happen every quarter. That's what the players like to see.
Well, just over halfway through this quarter, and the Rams hold a slender 1-point lead. And it really has been the tale of the tape for the Hawks. A couple of turnovers, a couple of misses on the inside. And you take those away, Hawks are up 6, maybe 8 points.
Definitely. And, well, you can say the same thing about the Rams. I mean, Sunday Ditch missed a couple good looks. Actually, great looks. You know, they should have normally would make those shots. So, hey, it's anybody's ball game, and that's the way it's going to be the whole game. I didn't expect anything less, especially when the season's on the line for either team. I think it's more pressure on the home team to get the W because, you know, hey, you're in front of your home crowd, and this is a do-or-die game, so it's always more pressure on you when you're at home like that. And people think it should be easier, but you know that's not true.
And you don't want to come out. And the Hawks have come out, and they're 3 of 12. They're shooting 25% from the floor. And so that right there, we talked about the nerves, we talked about the importance of the game, but when it comes down to it, it's a make or miss league. You got to make some of these shots on your home court in front of a nearly sold out arena and put this thing away so you can book your trip to Auckland.
Well, I can tell you what, if they're 3 from 12 and only down by 1 point, I think they'll be happy with that.
They'd be extremely happy with that as we see Moya with an athletic tip in.
Man, that boy is just a beast on the boards. He attacks the rim on the rebounds, both ends.
And speaking of attacking the rim, Rusbatch grabbing that thing and going. As we see a replay here, Moya athletically getting up and putting that back for the Rams.
Yeah, that was a good replay there. G.J. Gardner replay. Rusbatch, the doctor, to the line, shooting 2.
Like we mentioned earlier, the Rams picked up some fouls quickly. So the Racine foul line is going to be the friend of the Hawke's Bay Hawks right now, as we see Rusbatch knocked down 2.
And that's a bonus for the Hawks because they are a really good free throw shooting team.
They are indeed. Taylor Britt gets it underway. Britt able to split that and get to his left hand.
Oh, great move. Taylor Britt just makes it look too easy, but that was not an easy shot or move.
And I'm sure that the scouting report has Britt is going left, and going left.
Yeah, somebody missed a memo on that scout for sure.
Just because it's on the scouting report, Taylor Britt makes it awfully hard, even if you know what's going on. Former NBL great Ricky Grace was the same.
Yeah,
everyone knew Ricky was going left, and the matter was, could you stop him going left?
That's true.
Rusbatch, Jerome Rokawa in the corner. Rams come out in a little bit of what looks to be a zone, and breaking that drought from 3.
There he is, the doctor, Ethan Rusbatch, heating up.
Ties the game up. Detch finds Aiden Tong underneath. Back out to Detch. Harris guarding him. Some contact on that, but great no call by the officials.
Man, they letting him play. I love it.
Rokawa all the way to the basket.
And that's D buckets. Daron Rokawa. He's just a professional scorer, dude. He can score any given time. If he's healthy, no one can stay in front of him.
He really can score at all 3 levels, as we see Moya with the athletic finish again and 1.
That's what you call on top of your head. He just posterized somebody down there.
Jordan Hunt with a little too much help. Moya slips out of it. Great find, catch, and dunk.
And with someone with hops like Moya, you can't do a little ticky-tack foul, reach softly. You better hit them like you're Rick Mahorn from the old bad boys of Detroit Pistons, or else that's what's going to be the outcome.
With that dunk, he ties that back up and now stretches the lead from the Racine foul line.
And you don't want to give Moya any confidence about his game out there. You know what I mean? If he starts feeling way more confident, that means he's going to get you a 20-20 night.
And that's a definite reality with the way he can rebound the basketball. As we see Hunt go high off the glass, unable to get it to go. Salt with the offensive rebound. Going against Tong. Can't get that to go. Moya takes it away as Salt tries to save it. Detch.
And that Glad wrap is still around the top of the rim there for the Hawks.
And a little bit for the Rams, but I love the tempo both teams are playing at. As we see Salt with the mismatch inside.
The Hawks want an up-tempo game. They really want an up-tempo game.
They just couldn't, the Hawks could not take advantage of that mismatch. Salt with Detch guarding him, and 2-3 extra passes to try and find him. Hawks end up with a turnover, 3-second count.
I mean, 3 seconds. When was that called last? You know what I mean? Like, you hardly ever see us called it. Yet the Hawks get called for it and another turnover.
Joe Cook Green high off the glass.
Man.
Extends the lead to 3.
And that ball had some snow on it. It was so high up.
Kenny off the Jordan Hunt screen. Finding Hunt. Knocking that down. Another. Great to see him back from tall black commitments. And as we mentioned earlier, he had that little ankle injury a couple of days ago, but he's looking pretty good out there right now.
I mean, Jordan Hunt, a.k.a. Mr. Fundamentals, you leave him open like that, he's going to kill you. And to be honest, Miles, that kid is showing some class and some fire and some I want to win attitude, because there's no way he should be playing right now with the injury he's carrying. No way.
And that is huge. And what an asset it is that he can actually get out there and contribute. As we see Kenny get all the way to the basket.
JK.
Finish with the left.
If JK's aggressive like that, watch out.
Britt answers back with his left, getting that floater to go.
Think it's a little mano-y-mano going here. Taylor Britt said, whatever you can do, JK, I can do better.
Well, Jared Kenny has been a tall black point guard for such a long time, as we see a great find from Jerome Rokowa. Moya athletically blocking that shot, giving the Rams one last chance at it.
And there you have it, Miles. Look at that, 22 apiece at the end of the first.
What an exciting quarter, and we'll be back with some more action here in Pettigrew Green Arena shortly.
Sweet. All locked up, man.
Welcome back to Pettigrew Green Arena. Scores tied up at the end of the first, 22 apiece in what is the most important game for both these teams of the season.
Well, I can tell you what, I expected nothing less than this close game right now at the end of that first quarter at all. The Hawks will be kicking themselves because they've had some, what do you call, brain explosions down there, turning the ball over, not because the defense is tough. They need to tighten that up, and I know Coach McDowell will be on to that. As far as the Rams go, hey, they need to just keep putting the ball in the hole.
And they're doing that at a great rate in the paint. 14 points in the paint. The Hawks are really going to need to do something defensively to keep them out. Britt Detz at will getting to the rim. The Hawks on the flip side are doing a great job on the glass. 5 offensive rebounds. Jack Salt, Jordan Hunt doing a power of work there. And they just, the Rams will need to tidy that up just to make sure they can stay in this game.
Rams might want to think about putting in that big lineup, because if not, then the Hawks have definitely got the advantage on the boards.
They do indeed, as we see Britt here calling Alex Talma up for the screen. And interesting news on Talma. He is a firefighter based in Auckland, and his flight to the game today was cancelled. And so he actually drove from Auckland and got here with about 8 minutes on the clock during warm-ups, ran in, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but this is his 5th game. This is the game that he needs to play. So if the Rams win, he can play in the finals.
And when he came in, Miles, I watched, and the whole team came over and started patting him on the head and congratulating him for getting here, man, because, hey, you make some sacrifices, you know, if you want to, for the love of this game, man.
That is true, as we see Brett knock both down from the Rosine charity stripe to give the Rams an early 2-point buffer in the second quarter here. Had extended pressure from the Rams back into a zone.
Yeah, I think the Rams just trying to slow the tempo down a little bit. It was a token pressure with the full court press.
Kenny off the Salt screen. Well short on that. Hunt keeps it alive. And after all that, bobbles around and the Rams will come up with it.
Yeah, JK thought he got fouled there on the shot, and he probably got a good argument there, because I could hear the high five from over here.
Brett, change of speed. Once again, able to get to the edge of the key off that one. Taking advantage of the mismatch. Brown knocking down the corner 3 of the Taylor Britt assist.
This young fella, man, Walter Brown, I've been so impressed with him this season, man. Young guy that came out with no fear. He plays with no fear. So if you're a young fella and you're trying to make it in this NBL, go out there with no fear.
I was lucky enough to be at the under-19s down in Rangiora this year, and Walter Brown does the same things here that he did down there, and that transferable skill is such an asset for any athlete who's trying to play at higher levels. As we see Salt, ball knocked loose.
It's a good 2-man game there with D Buckets, Daron Rocarver, and the big fella, Jack Salt.
You see the replay of that drive, finding Walter Brown in the corner for the uncontested 3.
The young fella put the 3 fingers in there to let the crowd know, hey, yep, that was 3.
Well, the crowd a little quiet here at the moment with the Rams up 5. As we see Harris.
Yeah, when you're losing, that will always quiet the crowd, that's for sure.
Ruspatch can't answer with a corner 3 of his own. As we see Brett once again pushing that tempo, always trying to keep the Hawks defense on the heels. Kick out, Talma straight into a screen as we see Smith kicking out to a Detch, up fake, 1 dribble left, gets that going. McDowner straight away, timeout.
Timeout for the Hawks, they need one here. And it's as simple as this, Miles. The Rams are putting the ball in the hole and the Hawks aren't.
And you're right there. We've talked about the make or miss league, and the Rams are generating some unbelievably good shots just of dribble penetration. And the Hawks have got to figure out how to contain Britt, because right now he is causing havoc on the defensive end of the floor for them.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. They're pumped. Look at that. I'm looking down at their timeout now, and they're all pumped. They're down there screaming at each other. They're so pumped.
Well, Detch leading the way for the Rams with 11. And a lot of that was early in the first with his penetration. So Britt and Detch just having their way, putting the ball on the floor and able to create anything that they want right now.
I mean, Ditch is out there playing like he got a $5 million bonus on this game, you know, if the team wins, because he is going for it, man. This is probably the most offensively aggressive I've seen him all season, and why not? It's the biggest game of the year for his team.
You are not wrong there. And on the flip side, Jack Salt had some great looks. None of 5 right now. And you know that's going to change because he is such a workhorse. As we see Kenny get us back underway, under some pressure from Brown.
And the Hawks can put their small lineup out as well with one big AG. The same as the Rams.
We see Kenny get to the Racine foul line, knock that down.
JK, he's taken 2 more shots than last game. And I think he only taken 2 tonight, but he's looking for that open shot. That's great news for the Hawks.
As we see some great ball movement. Britt, once again, feet in the paint. Smith with the fake. Foul line jumper doesn't go. Rusbatch, rebound. Kicks ahead to Rokawa. AG in the post with a bit of a mismatch. Extra pass. Rusbatch, the one-legged runner, can't go. Detch, once again, pushing that tempo straight back at the Hawks.
Yeah, the Doc probably should have just went a normal jump shot there. AG and Triple H, Hiram Harris blocked that shot. Did they get a 0.5 block shot each?
Maybe a half there each, but right now the zone that the Rams were in for those few possessions really disrupted what was going on, as we see Rokawa find a cutting AG who's fouled.
Yeah, I don't know why the Rams came out of the zone, to be honest. It was working a charm. Working a charm. I would go straight back in it if I was Coach Judd Flavel, because the Hawks don't seem to have an answer for that zone at the moment.
No, the answer right now is from the Racine foul line. As once again, the Rams have got a couple of early fouls here. They still hold a 6-point lead, though. AG can cut into that from the Racine foul line.
And Coach Judd Flavel done put Austin back into the game with 2 fouls. You know, I'm sure Jerry Kinney is a smart point guard if he's out there, which he is not. So Rokawa or Rusbatch need to step up and say, hey, this guy has 2 fouls. We need to attack him.
So you're saying that Kenny's not smart, or Kenny's just not in the game?
He's just not in the game.
There we go.
Right.
Just to clarify. Just to clarify.
He's way smarter than both of us probably put together, MP.
And he's had an absolutely fantastic career, close to 20 years in the Sal's NBL. As we see that lead cut to 5 on that free throw.
And you can see the defensive intensity is trying to pick up, but you can't give straight line drives like that.
And once again, Karina, offensive rebound, putting that back in, but that came because they had to help, because someone got feet in the paint on the drive.
Yeah, got to take some pride in that one-on-one defense.
AG, Mike Karina, one offensive rebound at one end, taps it back in. AG, offensive rebound, dunks it back in at the other.
AG just dunked it right back in anyone around him. Flushed it.
Little bit of a mishandle by Walter Brown. Karina can pick it up. Moya fires away from the three-point line. Harris brings the Hawks back down. AG's got some weight on Moya. It's a good matchup, a good battle, as we see some good footwork. Shoots out a little flat, gets the side of the rim.
Yeah, that was $1 million move, MP, but a 10-cent shot.
And Karina picking and popping. Short on that attempt. Detch, offensive rebound. And right there we see 2 Hawks trying to fight over that ball. Harris comes up with it, able to control the tempo.
The Rams are looking for Dents, too, to get him the ball back so he can be offensively aggressive.
And if that is called on Austin, that will be his 3rd.
Smart play from the Hawks there. If that's the 3rd foul on Austin, it is, too. What a smart play. Uh-oh. It's all on now.
We've spoken a couple of times about how important this game is, and the feeling in this game is evident. And Sunday, Detch, Doron Rokar were getting into it and Daron Rokawa, as an 18-year-old coming out and playing for the Manawatu Jets all those years ago, played exactly the same way. Plays with a little chip on his shoulder. And it's a little bit of feisty that the Hawks may need right now as they're in this 5-point deficit halfway through the second quarter.
Oh, you know I love feistiness. You know that, and I love every minute of that. You never back down. Hey, we can be mates after the game. But on the court, I want to tear your head off and kick it around like a soccer ball. You know, and that's the way those two guys play. And that's why they're so successful. You know, but we got a timeout here. It's only 5 points in it with 5 minutes to go.
We see the great man, Willie B.
The legend himself.
Named as one of the top 40 players of all time in the Sal's NBL. And when he celebrated the 40 years of Sal's NBL. And he has been getting it done for a very long time. And his son now, Alonzo Burton, getting it done for the Southland Sharks.
Yeah, he's a proud dad, too. So good on him, man. Good on him. And Willie is one of the coolest dudes you ever meet in your life. But if you play against him, he'll rip your head off. he didn't take no prisoners on the court, but he was also one of the greatest passing big men that ever played this game.
And the Hawks probably need a little bit of that right now. Unfortunately, the passes aren't going to help them. It's putting the ball in the hole.
That's it here.
Two-point range, they're only shooting 26%.
And that won't even beat Napier Boys High School. So they better start picking it up.
As we see Harris go baseline, treads on the baseline, and another turnover for the Hawks.
Turnovers are killing them. And they're not like the defense is forcing them. They're just some mental mistakes. You cannot have that in a Game 7 type situation like this. You got to be better.
You're right there as we see Karina find a cutting Detch back door for an easy 2.
And this is the danger zone for the Hawks right now, because the Rams have got their tails up in the air and they ready.
As we see Salt come to a 2-foot stop, gets his scoring underway from the floor, able to put that in. Rokawa avoids the Karina screen, and that is a large screen.
Well, I can tell you what, the Hawks needed that bucket like a person stranded in the desert needed water.
And Walter Brown right back at them. Make sure that keeps that 7-point lead going for the Canterbury Rams.
I just can't say enough about that young kid, man.
And Hiram Harris gets it to go and one.
Triple H is bringing it. The King of Kings, Hiram Harris, Triple H.
See there, take that bump from Walter Brown. Nice soft finish. Can cut the lead to 4 from the Rosine charity stripe.
This is another area that Triple H, Hiram Harris, has improved on as well. He worked on tirelessly his free throw shooting, and now watch I put the commentator's curse on him. No, never fails.
There it is. As Brett brings the ball up, rejects the Karina screen, goes the other way. Moya comes up with the loose ball, puts that in for his own 2.
And he lets them know about it too, hauling out and one.
And right now, both teams giving up some offensive rebounds.
Yeah, lack of communication on the court, because when you can hear their sneakers squeaking louder than voices on the court, you know they're not communicating well enough on both sides.
And over the thousands of people here in the gym.
Exactly.
That can become an issue. Tim Brown's picked up a foul here on the rebounding situation in the free throw.
Yeah, I think Quentin Bailey gave him the old stiff arm push in the guts while he was in the air.
Britt gets it out. Karina, Detch off the Karina screen. Back to Britt, using the wide body of Karina. Take advantage of that. Britt high off the glass, can't get it to go, but we see Moya active as ever on the offensive glass. Jack Salt finally cleans it up for the Hawks.
My goodness, he went over 2 Hawks players there and got the ball. Just couldn't finish it.
Kenny, some fancy footwork, but knocked away and out of bounds. referee's not having any of Kenny's sales pitch for the foul.
He's trying to sell a foul there. Said they chopped him on the arm.
Once again, this Rams zone causing some havoc and some issues for the Hawks offense.
And the Hawks look like they are stressing to pound the ball inside. I just say take what the defense gives you. If you're giving you jump shots, be confident to make it.
And they're actually shooting the ball much better from 3 than they are 2. Only 3 of 6, 50% from 3. They're built slowly creeping up there, 32% from the 2-point range.
Yeah, 32% is not going to get it done. I can tell you that right now, not in this game. So they'll want to improve on that. But they don't need to be focused totally on just getting the ball inside at the moment. I think they just need to let the ball work for them, take whatever the defense gives you.
Playing some smart basketball as we have a little issue here trying to figure out who was fouled. We are in the bonus. The Rams still with a few foul issues, none more than Austin with 3. But finally the officials, and under Judd's expert opinion, it was Jack Salt that was fouled going to the line, and he makes that first one from Racine foul line.
Yeah, that subbing Austin back in when he had 2 fouls might come back to haunt Coach Judd. Now he's picked up his 3rd before halftime.
Well, you've still got Joe Cook, Rain, and Taylor Britt to run the show and get things done.
That's true, but
don't forget Sunday Detch as well. That's a fairly formidable guard lineup with or without Austin.
Definitely, but hey, you want all your guns against this team, especially a do-or-die game.
As we see Joe Cook, Green able to get his feet in the paint, kick out to a wide open Taylor Britt. Karina, offensive rebound. And I think this is something that Coach Mick Downer will need to clean up, as we see Mike Karina fouled right there on the baseline.
Yeah, JK, Jerry Kinney gave him the old karate chop. I mean, the Rams have turned the table now on those offensive rebounds. They're the ones getting the offensive rebounds now, and the Hawks are battling and looking around like, how are they doing it? They're doing it because you're not boxing out. Hit somebody, put a body on somebody.
Hawks had 5 at quarter time. The Rams have really picked up that area of the game, and they're earning second possessions and getting some good shots out of it. Moya is just dangerous in that area, and Karina's just too big to ignore down low.
Exactly. You can't just stand in front of them and think you're going to get the rebound. You got to push them out. Drive them with your legs.
6-point lead. As we see Rams still in the zone. Kenny, penetration, loses the handle. Moya comes up with it. A 4-on-3 opportunity here for the Rams.
Another turnover for the Hawks.
Moya, all the fancy dribbling, kicks out to Karina, wide open. Doesn't get it to go. Salt cleans up that. Ruspatch, slowing the tempo.
Well, the Hawks were a little bit lucky to come away with no bucket from the Rams there because of that turnover, because that ball was halfway down Karina's shot.
Once again, another pretty good shot in the paint for the Hawks. They just can't get it to go, as Britt is unbelievably quick coming back the other way. Britt falling for the Karina screen. This continued defense continues to go under that. As we see Britt going left. Can't get that to go. Ruspatch tidies up the rebound. And both teams are a little shaky as we see an uncharacteristic fumble from Kenny, but somehow wraps it around his body and gets that to go. I'm pretty sure that's not what he wanted to do.
JK with the circus.
It's not what he intended to do, but it's what he did do.
Hey, 2 points.
2 points right now, which is so important, cutting the lead to 4. Joe Cook Green, once again, penetration, killing the Hawks right now.
And it's left. It is. The left-handed people are driving left. So obviously they didn't listen to the scout, or they just have brain dead.
As we see here, Kenny on the far, grabbed it, behind me, fumbles. Little scoop shot to put that in. And the Hawks right now, the way they're shooting the ball, particularly from in close, they're going to take anything that they can get. And that Kenny one, they'll take it.
Hey, they desperately needed that bucket. That's for sure. Because to stop the bleeding. Because you would think the Rams would be up by about 10 to 12 points at least by now. But it's not, because they're missing a few looks as well.
They have indeed.
Easy looks.
Detch is still leading the way with 13. And the Hawks have come out, got a number of guys contributing, but realistically, they'd love a couple of those little chippies around the basket to go.
They got to make that count. I mean, if you're 2-3 feet away from the basket and you don't put it in, like my grandmother said, I'll slap the mess out of you if you don't make that shot. That's what she told me
That is
once.
a loving grandmother right there.
I love you, Grandma.
But right now, the Hawks really need to do a better job containing dribble penetration and figure out how to combat that zone that the Rams have been jumping in and out of, junking up some defenses. And the Rams, they got to keep doing more of what they're doing, putting the ball on the floor and getting in, causing defense to collapse, causing rotations and kicking the ball out to some shooters.
Well, I can tell you what, the Hawks better find a way to put that ball in the hole. Because right now, their offense looks terrible. They are a fast-paced team, and they got 35 points. With 1 minute and 19 seconds to go for halftime, they would rather that be 50, I can tell you that now.
They would indeed, as we see Joe Cook-Green knock down both from the Razine foul line, extend that lead back out to 6.
And it was like I was telling you, MP, that, hey, these guys, who's going to step up? Who's going to be that guy when the biggest game of the year is on the line, that you're going to be that guy? You might need 2 or 3 of you to be that way.
And right now, that's the thing, as we see Jordan Hunt, big fundamental, catch high, keep high, and finish that there. And the inside presence of Salt, AG, Jordan Hunt, Harris, like, as we see Harris come away with that rebound, like, that's really important as we see a foul on the break leading to 2. You see Harris with that great kick ahead. And this is something that I love that the Hawks have done all year and done very, very well, is the bigs that they have get on the rim. And they get on the rim quick, and they've got great opportunities to throw the ball ahead for some of those easy scores.
And that's it. They let the ball work for them more instead of pound the air of the ball, dribble, fast break. You want the ball to be passing up the court. Couple dribbles, maximum.
And the AG's just flat-out sprint was rewarded by a great kick ahead from Harris. He's got 2 at the Razine foul line. Can't get the first to go.
They took out all the signage over there by the ball boys.
It's the danger zone there. I remember when Clifton Bush III was one of those guys. Now part of the Hawks squad as AG knocks that down.
Yeah, CB3 in the building, baby.
Talking about Willie B being a proud dad, I know. I know Junebug's doing his thing here, and he's had some tough times, so it's great to see him part of the Hawks squad.
Definitely, man.
As we see Joe Cook-Green miss the mid-range jumper. Couple of possessions left here. The Hawks control it through Daron Rokawa. Slowing it down. Want to try and take the last shot. Couple of seconds difference between shot clock and game clock as we see the Salt screen. Back to Rokawa. Fumble from AG. Drops his shoulder. Joe Cook-Green takes the charge. Takes a hit in the chest. With 4.5 seconds left, that's going to be enough time for the Rams to generate something there. As you see the replay dropping his body. Dropping that shoulder into the body of Joe Cook-Green. 4.5 seconds, a long time. Long time to get that going. Karina, big screener halfway. Cook-Green firing from 3. Short on that one. And a 3-point Canterbury lead in what has been a fairly low-scoring game for these up-tempo teams. Not sure who'd be happier Judd Flavel or Coach Mick Downer with the scoreline as it is. As we go to Clifton Bush. Clifton Bush has.
I'm here with Hiram Harris.
Hiram
Harris, tough half there, man. But what do you attribute 38 to 41 down to?
I think with this team we got a lot of offensive talent, so kind of getting to our talent, and we're running kind of through our sets. We've had some easy ones, we smoked a couple, and then down the other end we just got a few lapses we need to tidy up, whether it be getting blown by and we just need to stay in front of our man or over rotating. So there's a lot we can work on in the second half to get the job done.
Awesome. Good luck for the second half, man.
Those Clifton Bush with Hiram Harris as we've got a 3-point Canterbury Rams lead here at halftime. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly with more stats and more from the game so far. And welcome back to this round 15 clash between the Hawke's Bay Hawks and the Canterbury Rams here in the NZNBL. Exactly what we were expecting, with a playoff game atmosphere in what's going to be the biggest game for both teams.
Yeah, and the Hawks will be kicking themselves right now because they're not playing like it's the biggest game of the season. Even the Rams, they should be up by more points than this. To be honest, that slow start when they couldn't put the ball in the hole basically stuffed them up from having a double-figure lead, I think, before halftime.
You're not wrong there. So let's have a look at some of the stats from the first half.
Hi, my friend.
Sunday Detch leading the way, 13 points and some great support from Moya, Karina, Britton, Brown. The Hawks have got a pretty good scoring spread.
Yeah, and I want to say something about that scoring spread. That's good when you're playing regular season games. But when you're in a playoff type game like this one is, you need a couple guys to step it up and be blowing out those points, not just everybody by committee, to be honest.
We see here sharing the ball around, Rokar and Kenny with a couple of assists each, Detch as well, Harris with a couple of blocks, and the going's been pretty tough. Karina, Smith, Detch, Moyer, all with one each.
And it's one steal each, only 2 steals in the whole of the first half. That's because both teams really little turnovers here and there, especially the Hawks. They'll be kicking themselves for the turnovers they've got.
They do. They've got a half dozen. Mick Down is probably not too happy with that, but something that I'm sure they're talking about right now. But stay with us, and we'll be back with some second half action very shortly.
Sweet. Jeez. But from what the flow of the game, you would think that the Rams would be up by double figures. Especially when Sunday Dench got 13 points at halftime.
And welcome back to Pettigrew Green Arena here in Hawke's Bay. Miles Pierce, Clifton Bush here for the Sal's NBL game. And it's been an amazing game because of how close it's been, but realistically, both teams should have probably taken advantage of some of the advantages they created.
Yeah, it should be a double-figure lead for at least one team. Both of them are not shooting the ball very well at the moment. The Rams got the slight lead just because they probably put one more shot in. That's basically about it at the moment. But that's do-or-die basketball. You're never going to shoot probably 70%, 60% from the field as a team in a do-or-die game.
No, you're not. Both teams shooting 36%. The Rams looking after the ball a little better. Both teams fairly even on the rebound count. The thing standing out for me right now, the Hawks, Salt and AG combined 2 for 10 from the floor. that is something that is probably a little uncharacteristic for what they have been doing this season. And the Hawks defense really needs to be able to contain some dribble penetration.
Yeah, I would suspect that Ethan Rusbatch, Triple H, Hiram Harris, and Deron Rocarver will come out this half being super aggressive offensively. And because of your bigs are only giving you 2 for 10, guess what? Go rebound and come screen for me, because basically it's not your game.
Well, they are doing, the bigs from the Hawks are doing a pretty good job. Salt 3 offensive rebounds, AG 2 offensive rebounds, 6 and 7 apiece. You know, they got that 13 rebounds between them at halftime. They're doing a good job. But make or miss, like, you got to put the ball in the hole.
And that's the thing. When they're not putting it in the hole, big men, what would you do, Miles Pierce, if you weren't putting the ball in the hole? You would attack that glass, offensive glass, and run the court, get you a few cheapies.
And
you know what I mean?
And that's what they've got to do. And the Rams right now, they've got some foul issues to contend with. A couple of guys with 2, but the big one standing out really is Austin with 3.
Yeah, they missed him a little bit there. I think if he was on the court for more in that first half, it would be a double-figure lead for the Rams, because he would have got them better shots. He don't necessarily need to be the one scoring the points, but he is the court general out there.
He really is, and as you mentioned jokingly, lovingly, said Kenny's taken more shots this game than he has in the last game, and that was when he'd taken a shot. Kenny's just such an unbelievably good floor general, and he really doesn't need the ball to score it. But what he needs to do is defend, control the tempo, and get the guys into the places they need to be to take advantage of whatever it is that they're trying to do.
Well, I can tell you what they need to be trying to do is basically get their guards some more and better looks, open looks, not having to break somebody down one-on-one, because to be honest, there's only 2 or 3 guys on that entire roster that can just break you down one-on-one without getting a screen or anything like that.
And that is it. We see Austin starting this half as he's a little under his averages right now. No points, no rebounds, no assists, and only 4 minutes of action. He's averaging close to 13, 7, and 5 assists as we see Hiram Harris get out.
And that's why the Rams come into a zone, because I think they're also trying to protect Austin from getting any more cheap fouls.
As we see AG fire away, short on that attempt from the corner. Detch pushing Walter Brown, taking control of this here. Karina, this is a matchup that I always like to see. The big fellas going at it. Jack Salt pulls the chair a little, gets Karina off balance, and Hawks able to get a stop.
Yeah, AG came over with the help side defense. That was great help side defense from AG.
Going under there is Harris, getting all the way to the basket and finishing with the left.
Put him in the spin cycle, baby.
This game's so important for both teams. You can see what it means. Both coaches up, down, pacing the sidelines. As we see Brown with a little up fake, finds Karina, feet in the paint, tries to kick out to Detch with a turnover. Rusbatch running the floor and gives the Bay their first lead in quite some time.
The Hawks have come out when somebody lit a fire under their bum, and I think that was Coach Downer at halftime, because they came back out quick.
The great thing about this Hawks squad is they got some guys, some veteran leadership, and I'd like to think that they're calling each other out on that.
Oh,
Jared Penny, close to 20 years in the league. Deron Rocarver with 10. Jordan Hunt's been around a long time. Ethan Rusbatch, former Canterbury Ram, to be said. All those guys are well experienced, and you'd hope that they don't need a whole lot of motivating in a game like this.
No, but sometimes you know how it is, Mal. You need that good old kick up the backside to get you going.
Salt short on that little left hook. Austin pushing the tempo. Still can't get his scoring underway as we see Moya. Offensive rebound, keeping it alive, kicking out the Detch.
It's a great move. He just didn't finish.
Athletic block.
And AG gave him the Kimbe Mutombo. Get that weak stuff out of here. And the Hawks turn it over.
Hiram Harris handing off to no one there on that play.
And those types of plays right there are coach killers. Those are coach killers, man. When you get a block and you're on a fast break and then all of a sudden you turn the ball right over to the other team without even getting a shot up. Oh, man. Coach Downer might have a heart attack in a minute.
You see, unfortunately, the turnover made worse by that foul with Jack Salt just sticking his leg out and getting called for the block.
Get a foul on the floor. Big fella. What you tripping for?
Positive thing coming out of that is it does give the Hawks a chance to reset their defense.
That's true, and they've taken the lead. They're up by 1. Hiram Harris is leading the way with 11 points so far for the Hawks.
And in that first half, the Rams really did dominate with that, holding the lead for most of the first half. As we see Detch working, and defensive intensity's lifted a little bit, but Moya knocking that down over Rusbatch.
Oh my goodness. If he can make threes like that, look out, Hawks. Hiram Harris, Triple H, getting it done, baby.
We got Austin bringing the ball down the floor. And he is just quick as he gets to the basket, feet in paint, able to open his scoring with that 2 right there.
And he looks like a little kid who just ran into a lolly shop for the first time because he is attacking the rim every time he touches it because he's been on the bench with foul trouble in the first half. He is full of energy, Austin.
He is indeed, and we see that rim run by the Hawks bigs, but unable to capitalize, and that ball's thrown a little too strong over the top and turnover. The Rams get another chance with a Walter Brown 3. Short on that. Kenny picking it up, taking it the other way.
I mean, that was a good look, good shot. Like you said, make a miss league. You got to make it.
As we see AG forcing the double team from Karina. And Moya athletically putting it against the glass.
Yeah, that's goaltending.
Tim Brown says he did it illegally.
Yeah, hit the backboard first. He just jumped so quick, you didn't realize it.
He does get up quick. He gets up high and he gets up quick.
Jerome Rokawa, D Buckets, checking into the game for Triple H, Hiram Harris.
And Daron really brings that score and punch. He can score on all 3 levels.
And he can heat up in any second, too.
Detch with a tough finish, outstretched arm.
That was tough shot. And he put it in. Detch is just, he's balling tonight. He is just playing ball like this is another game, big game, but he's just playing.
He is indeed, as we see Rusbatch tries to answer back, but Jordan Hunt bails him out on the offensive rebound and sticks that back in. And once again, Austin back, ball in hand, trying to take advantage of a little strength down low. Runs into the double team of AG. Now Moya taking Hunt off the dribble. Yeah. Like we said at halftime, we've said numerous times already, the Hawks need to do a better job controlling the ball off the dribble. Just too easy for the Rams, getting guys' feet in paint, able to finish at the rim or create shots for someone else.
Yeah, AG took that shot there. That wasn't a good shot. He would like to have that one back.
What a pass from Sunday Detch, finding the cutting from Mike Carina.
Pulling out the old school and one mixtape, putting it between people's legs.
And the Hawks got off to a good start here, but the Rams have answered back. As we see Kenny pleading for a foul, not going to happen. Austin, spin cycle, footwork.
Great defense from D Buckets, Jerome Rokawa there.
As Moya just gets straight into AG's body. AG's body was on the way down before the contact happened. The referee signaled a flop warning on that play there.
Yeah, it looked like he got shot out of a cannon on that one, didn't he? That we need to sell that a little bit better. He was in position, but he needed to sell that just a little bit better.
As we see, little Steve Nash S-like dribble from Rokawa around. AG can't control it, but he can foul Moya on the rebound, defensive rebound.
Those are some long guys out there. You see their arms, they're just standing on the ground, And they're almost grabbing the rim by just reaching up in the air, both of them. Just some long arm guys right there going for that rebound, man.
You know, there we see Moya get to the rim for an easy lay-in. And the Hawks, after a fairly good start, the Rams have answered back and have retaken that 6-point lead.
Muhammad Ali Frazier, a punch for a punch. And that's what's happening now.
And you're right, basketball is a game of runs. And right now, Hawks went on a run, Rams have answered back. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Hawks can respond with 4:20 to go here in the third quarter.
I mean, they got a sniff of the lead by 1 point. And then the Rams said, oh, no, you're not doing this to us. And next thing you know, it flip-flopped again. So it's going to all come down to defense for the Hawks to try to stop the Rams here, get a little bit of a run, and then get a lead to keep it. And the Rams will be trying to do the same thing. But, hey, it's the old saying, Miles, offense wins games, but defense wins championships. And this is sort of a championship type game, you know what I mean, because of do or die.
You're right there. This game, the winner, if the Rams can get up by 3, they're going to have a chance to play for the championship. Hawks, same thing. Like we mentioned earlier, the games this afternoon, Tuatara Saints, and the game tomorrow, Nuggets versus Bulls, is all about placing in the top 6. Those teams, Bulls are not. They lost to the Southland Sharks. Rob Beveridge doing a great job in a fairly disrupted year. But
same for Coach Maskell down, and frankly, he's done a great job this year.
And those guys are just playing for position. This is the game that'll dictate what's going on. As we see Moya wedgie that thing. I've seen the ball get a little wedgie like that, but not on a rebound.
Not on a rebound. I don't think I've seen that either.
So that
still be Rams ball, so it's just like getting you got the offensive rebound, but he wished he would have got the offensive rebound because he could have dunked that one home easy.
Detch fires from the corner, short. Hunt picks it up. Bailey out and running. Harris controlling it.
Dench is not going to leave this game wondering, is he? Because, man, he is so aggressive.
Not at all.
He's jacking that shot up, man.
Bailey getting a hook to go. Finally, something going the Hawks' way on the inside.
Cute. Quentin Bailey putting money on that cue card.
As we see, little boomerang throw and go action between Karina and Detch. Harris deflects that out of bounds. Rams will keep that with 13 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, I think if Hiram had his hands out already, that might have been a catch and fast break. But good hands to stop the pass, though.
We see Mike Karina check out, Alex Talmadge check in. Spoke earlier about his drive and effort to get here. Let's see, Austin met at the rim.
Triple H said, not in my house. Hiram Harris doing it all.
Indeed, as we see Jordan Hunt trying to take advantage of a mismatch. Fumbles the ball there, turns it over. Another Hawks turnover.
Those things right there will come back to haunt you. All of those little ticky-tack turnovers. I mean, basically he was just bodying them up. Unfortunately, Jordy got that bit of an injury, and I think that might have hurt his footwork a little bit. Couldn't be as aggressive as he wanted to.
It's the 8th turnover for the Hawks. As we see Austin knock down a 3, extend that lead back out to 7.
And he lets his bench know about it. That's 3, baby. Hiram Harris is living. He think he's got hacked twice.
And this game, as we see the Austin triple, this game's got some feeling to it. The Rams getting out to this 7-point lead right now. Mick Downer doesn't like what he's saying, so he's trying to tidy this up in this quick timeout.
Yeah, that was a great timeout right now because they don't want to get this lead blown out. If they start try to come back from a double-digit lead and you're not really shooting the ball that great, that is not going to be good for the Hawks.
So 9 turnovers for the Hawks is not exactly where they need to be.
Not
Throw
at
in
all.
with that with the Rams with 9 offensive rebounds, and that is an issue right now for Mick Downer and his team.
I mean, and you look over on the other side, the Rams, they're happy with their efforts. I mean, you got Austin. Like I said, he's a little kid in a lolly shop for the first time because he's been sitting on the bench the whole first half in foul trouble. He's come out here just balling, just trying to take his man every time, then hit a three, talking to his bench, putting up 3 fingers. The Hawks can smell blood.
And they're getting it done. You're
well,
right.
The Rams can smell blood, sorry, not the Hawks, because the Hawks, what they can smell is probably their own blood at the moment.
You're right, Larry Austin only not even 4.5 minutes in the first half with those 3 fouls. Picked up a couple early, sat, came back in, picked up another one fairly quickly. So it's a tough ask, and I'm sure he's relishing the minutes that he's playing right now.
Yeah, you can see he pulled his hand back there. Didn't want that other little cheap foul.
Quentin Bailey able to tip that one out and keep that alive. Rusbach from the corner, knocking down the triple, cutting that lead to 4.
Yeah, you can't give the doctor Ethan Rusbach 2 looks in a row like that.
And Rusbach has been doing such a great job this season putting the ball on the floor. You can't forget, he's a 3-point shooter. As we see Talma knock down a 3-point shot.
Talma, the big fella, the drive from Auckland might have did him good. He's knocking down 3s, baby.
Harris, Rusbach up fake, puts it on the floor, goes off the glass, gets it to go.
Left hand, Ethan's got that look in his eye like, hey, it's time for me to take over.
He needs that, because right now they need the Hawks desperately need someone to step up and take control and run with them. 16 points in the game for Rusbach, helped along with Harris's 13, but there's some other guys on this squad that are well below their scoring average.
And that's the thing. That's what big games do. You know, some of the guys who have been averaging all these points, you know, in those big games, they don't quite live up to the hype. Your true superstars stand out in big games.
As we see Austin get all the way to the rim and fouled heavily, trying to keep his scoring going. AG 4 points tonight, averaging just a shade under 14.5.
And that's not good enough.
And
he knows it too.
Yeah.
He knows.
Jack Salt, 5, averaging 10.5. So a couple of guys and there's still just over a quarter to play, but some of these guys from the Hawks, they've got to be able to chip in, because fourth quarter money time's coming up, and it's coming up fairly quick.
And the Hawks, if you're the Hawks, you can't keep trading buckets. Turnover again.
Another turnover. That takes us out double-figure turnovers for the Hawks. As we see Karina pick and pop. Detch finds him. Harris grabbing that rebound.
Great looks from the Rams here. It was a great look for Karina.
You see feet in paint, kick out, and those are the shots that you were talking about earlier with just easier ones. As we see Rokawa come up with a great steal. With the Hawks fighting over it. Back-to-back buckets. Harris generating some stuff off Jerome Rokawa's steal, and it's a 2-point lead.
Here come the Hawks, baby.
Body's going down on the floor.
Yeah, there's a foul on Ethan there. The doctor, Rusbach.
Would you stand in front of Mike Karina when he is running down the floor like that?
Not that close to the basket, I wouldn't. I can tell you that. It'll be hack-a-shack time. I'm telling you, I will start up the chainsaws because I'm going to chop his arm off.
Mike Karina is a big man, and I don't know. I don't know how many charges you took in your career, but I'm guaranteed you never took one from a person that size.
Hey, I took one from Perro Cameron. So you can say what you want. Perro would run you over and then step on you.
PC doing an absolutely fantastic job with the Tall Blacks, as we see that Rokawa steal. Back to Harris, misses it, gets his own rebound and puts it in, and able to cut this Canterbury lead just to 2.
And the Rams had a bit of a brain explosion down there on the other end. Now look, it's a 2-point ball game.
We have
coaches disputing that it probably shouldn't be a shot, 2 shots. Coach Mick Downer.
So just the officials the officials working between what's going on. Jack Salt trying to check into the game, being told to wait as Karina knocks down the first from the Racine charity stripe.
I think everybody's feeling the pressure in this game tonight. Not just the players, Miles.
No, it will be players, coaches, officials. It will be some fans in the crowd. All those people have worked so hard to get these teams to where they are right now.
Karina knocks them both down, put the Rams back up by 4.
Couple of possessions left in this quarter. We see that extended pressure from the Rams. Harris dribbles to the corner, kicks ahead to AG. AG all the way to the rack, taking it strong, and almost forcing the officials to make a call.
And that's a good play. That's the kind of play he needs to make more often, especially when you're not really having a great game. You force the referees into making that call by going strong to the basket. Don't bring that weak stuff in there and then expect them to bail you out.
No, he is right now just able to chip into this lead from the colored line. And the Hawks, he knocks these down, cuts it to 2, might cut it to 3, missing the first one, but they've got a chance to get a good defensive set and finish the quarter with the ball in hand.
If the Hawks make this one, and say if the quarter they finish down by 3 points, well, they were down by 3 points at halftime, so nothing's changed. That's not a good sign. That's not a good thing for the Hawks.
They have had a couple of great little spurts, but every single time, every run that the Hawks have come up with, the Rams have done an even better job.
And it's out of sheer hustle.
You're right. Absolutely correct. Just a little bit of effort as we see Rokawa go high, but missing that. Rams offensive rebound.
You hold it for the last shot here, 20 seconds to go.
Detch waiting, using the Moya screen. Off there, Moya, catch and shoot 3. Fouled.
Foul is called, and the Hawks players can't believe it.
Hiram Harris. Hiram Harris called for the foul on the 3.
Yeah. See, you don't give the referee the chance to blow a whistle like that. He should have jumped completely past him, because Moyer's not really what you would call a knockdown three-point shooter. So why are you jumping towards him like he's Kirk Penny?
Who is playing in the not-too-distant future at Event Fighter Stadium.
I'm cheering for you, Kirk. I'm cheering for you, mate. Come on back and drop about 6 from 3, baby.
Kirk Penny in the lineup, and the return of Chris Johnson. How big is that for the Tuatara coming into next week's finals at Event Fighter Stadium?
Massive. I was talking to a lot of the old imports about the Tuatara, and I was like, without Chris Johnson, I couldn't see them winning a championship. Now he's back. They're contenders.
They are indeed. Heads up play. AG throwing it off. Detcher was already out of bounds. We see Kenny check back into the game. 8.1 on the clock. 5-point lead to the Rams.
The Hawks need something here to get a little bit of momentum. They need something right here.
Like you said, they were down 3 at the half. Can they get something here to try and finish this quarter on a high? Whistle goes.
The Rams got 4 fouls to give, so they're all right.
They are okay. Taylor Britt, heads up play, draws, makes contact, forcing the Hawks to take it out of bounds on the side with just 2.7 on the clock now. Trying to go into Salt inside. Clock expires on them. And right now, the Rams heading into the fourth quarter, up 5. We'll be back with some fourth quarter action shortly.
All right.
Welcome back, Pettigrew Green Arena. Miles Pierce, Clifton Bush with you here for this do or die battle between the Bay Hawks and the Canterbury Rams. Clifton, what'd you get out of the third quarter?
Well, I got out of the third quarter a bit what happened in the first half. Hey, the Rams are coming to play. I mean, neither team are lighting it up from the field now. They're not, but hey, the Rams are doing a little bit more because they got the lead. And they bumped their lead up by 2 points. They were leading by 3 at halftime. Now they're up by 5. That is not what the Hawks want to see. The Hawks better find a way to put some points on the board while getting some stops in a row. Then they might have a shot at winning this game. But right now, all the pressure is on the Hawks. All the pressure.
You're right there. I believe you. I believe you 100%. Hawks at home, big crowd, a lot of pressure right now. And they got the ball, so let's see what they can come up with. The Rams come out in that zone. Hopefully the Hawks can look after the ball a little better as we see Harris with the right-handed floater in the lane opens the scoring for the Hawks, and that's what they're going to need more of.
Well, that's the shot that they're giving you. Take it. You got to just take it and make it. And Triple H, Hiram Harris, that's what he did. Right-handed even.
And Detch working with Karina in the two-man game. Jack Salt trying to contain Detch off the dribble. Does a pretty good job. Ball bubbles around. Rusbats comes up with it, taking it against Detch the other way.
Rusbats fought for that rebound. That's what you do when you're a captain, baby.
Jerome Rokawa pulls the trigger. Strong on that. Karina comes up with the rebound. Larry Austin, in limited minutes, is now starting to, I was going to say starting to take control, but the pressure from Kenny, who has been an amazing defender throughout his what seems to be 600-year career.
Well, he's leading from the front now because that's the type of defense that all the Hawks need to play if they're going to beat this tough Rams team.
That's what Kenny's been known for, as we see a little bit of a misfire on that pass from Harris, but Kenny finds Rokawa off dribble back to Kenny in the corner. Designated shooter.
And that's what JK does, baby. He's made a living off that corner three. And we're all locked up.
Just like that. We're tied up here. Austin pushing the tempo. Feet in paint. Kicking out. Cook Green working with Farina. Good switch with Salt and Rokawa. Rokawa was guarding Karina on the roll.
Karina tried a step back three, and it was all halfway down, too.
And once again, just extra possessions from the Rams through effort stuff. Able to gain some possessions.
And that'll be a foul on Karina there. Shoved Triple H to the ground. Referee pinged him for it.
Tim Brown calling that one there on the baseline. You love the effort from Karina trying to get that ball back, but you got to look after the ball. The Hawks come out, knock down a couple. The crowd's in it now. This is going to be an exciting finish. Rokawa pulls up mid-range.
And that's his shot. That's his shot. I mean, if I was him, I'll take that another 10, 12 times because normally he'll make that.
Harris with his fourth block of the game.
Block.
Salt stands tall, but Walter Brown, the young man, able to finish over the big body of Jack Salt.
The young superstar there, Walter Brown, with no fear. I told you, he plays with no fear.
He really does, and nominated for Youth Player of the Year. Is Harris able to get to the basket, get his feet in the paint, and gets fouled and earns himself a trip to the colourful Racine charity stripe.
And that's the type of possessions you need if you're a Hawks. You need to get something, either go on the free throw line or an easy look. It's a great spin move there by Triple H, Hiram Harris there, spinning to his non-favored hand, right hand.
I know he shoots the ball with his left hand, but he finishes very well with his right around the basket.
And for all you young basketballers out there, that's the way you should be. You should not be one-handed. No way. Predominantly, it shouldn't be left or right. Whatever the defense plays you should be able to finish. And if you can't, work on your game.
As we see, Harris knocked both of those down, able to tie this game up. And you'd think that the closer this game is, the Hawke's Bay crowd, black, white, are really going to come into this as the fourth quarter closes.
Definitely, and also it's going to pressure burst the pipe, the old saying, you know, because the more pressure in the game, some of these guys, that shot going to be a little short.
That is true, as we see Kenny pick up a foul, and that's his third. Probably the only concern right there.
Yeah, Jordy Hunt has 4 for the Hawks.
Oh, yes, there's Jordan and Kenny. Some foul trouble there for the Hawks.
So see what I mean by the pressure? These are big shots right now. I know it's 7 minutes ago, but every bucket is a big shot from here on out.
Jack Salt comes up with the big rebound. He has done a power of work down low, both offensively and defensively on the glass. Rusbach can't get his 3 to go.
But I like that look and that shot from the doctor, Ethan Rusbach. I like that look. So
Kenny gets called for his 4th.
A little cheapy foul there. JK got called for it. I mean, I'm old school. No blood, no foul.
Well, the level of physicality at certain times in this game, that really did seem like a light one, but it was right in front of us. We saw the contact. Yeah. It may not have been much contact, but it was there.
It was contact.
Rokawa gets the Hawks going this way, going through and around Jack Salt. Gets a little floater. Can't get it to go. Austin picks up the rebound and quickly back the other way.
And the referees are letting him play again. And Austin went down. He might be injured.
Went down at halfway, 5-on-4. Kenny, Derone, Rokawa can't get it to go.
Look like that's going to be a foul on the Hawks. Jack Salt. Rams ball. Austin is limping a bit there. I think he's going to be all right. But nope, they had to take him out of the game.
I don't know what happened there, but he did go down in the middle of the court with not too many people around him.
And Hiram Harris comes out of the game for the Hawks. I think this will be the quickest break ever, because he'll be back in there real quick, because he's been definitely playing pretty good for the Hawks.
Particularly on the defensive end, and his ability to you see some heavy contact between Salt and Carino.
That was the old NFL block right there, an offensive lineman block.
But Harris just so versatile. Big, can put the ball on the floor, and an underrated skill is his passing ability. As we see Salt missing on the inside, bodies going down all over the place.
Agee's got to take that shot. Got to forget about shooting. You're 1 foot from the basket. There's no such thing as a pass if you're 1 feet away from the basket. And shoot the ball.
Despite all the action and all the drama and everything that's going on, we're still tied up.
Moya says, not for long, baby.
Not for long indeed. Moya for 3.
And gave Agee that little stare like, yeah, boy, that was right in your face. That was a big shot.
Working off the Salt screen. Holding Britton hostage, keeping him on his back. Agee answers right back.
Agee said, right back at you, baby, in your face. Hand down, man down. You got your hands up on defense, shoot it right in your face.
Moyer's knocked down a couple, guarded closely by AG. Hands that off to Brett. Brett unable to finish over the long arm of the law, AG.
That was great defense from the import AG there for the Hawks.
Rush back, kicks that out to Kenny. Wasn't able to get anything going 1-on-3. AG, Kenny works off the salt pick. Able to get into the lane. There's the foul Jared Kenny's been looking for the whole game.
And there he is. Einstein of the NBL himself. Smart play. Attack the rim, go to the free throw line, get you some cheapies.
Without a doubt, as we see Kenny just using all 19 years experience and all that smarts to draw the foul against Taylor Brett. And as we see Austin getting taped up there on the sideline.
And the Hawks coming over to the bench, that body language is totally different than last quarter, I can tell you that.
A little bit more, their tails are up, a little bit more energy, a little bit more talk. They're looking good, and it's going to be a great finish to a fantastic game. And speaking of fantastic games, this one's great, but I'm really looking forward to the Saints versus the Tuatara tonight.
I can tell you what, man, people wrote off the Saints too quick. They really did, man. That lineup, that team is full of talent, especially when they got the new import in, Upshaw Jr. Love that dude's game, man.
He has just turned it around, but you're talking about Upshaw Jr. coming in. Chris Johnson is back.
Well, I know, man. Hey, this dude is, a 7-foot 3-man. Basically, it's what he is.
NBA experience. He's played here the last couple of years, had an outstanding career all over the world, and what a great time to get him back. And for such a big game.
Perfect time to get him back, and I know Tuatara are happy. I know the coach down there got the biggest smile ever because he's like, yeah, now we got a legitimate chance to win it all.
Yeah, Coach Aaron Young was definitely happy with that, and I'm pretty sure he's happy with the experience of Kirk Penny. Unfortunately, Kirk Penny will not be able to play. He hasn't played enough games to qualify for the finals, as we see Jared Kenny short on the first one.
Not like JK to miss clutch free throws like these.
Not at all, but Coach Aaron Young happy with the CJ return, and got to be happy with having Kirk Penny in and around your program.
Hey, I'll take a 60-year-old Kirk Penny and you spot him up in the corner. I guarantee he'll give you 5 from 7.
The modern game is favoring KP.
That's right.
As we see, game get underway, some pressure from the Hawks.
Hawks up by 1.
Walter Brown, up fake, feet in paint, finds Moyer. Moyer with the up fake of his own, and 1. Gets that to go. AG with the foul.
Moyer pumping it up, baby. Getting an and 1. That's big time.
Hawks had the lead there for just a matter of seconds before the Rams snatched it back on what was a great, tough finish with the foul, and Moyer, Racine charity stripe, trying to add the bonus.
Can't finish. Might come back to haunt you later on.
Well, right there, both teams not shooting high 60s, low 70s from free throw lines respectively. As we see AG Karina closing out hard. AG, Rokawa using AG off the screen, finding him there.
Call a foul on that, but I don't know. That looked like a lot of ball to me.
That's 2 long athletic guys going at it.
And the G.J. Gardner replay right there. That looked, ooh, that's tough. That's a tough, that's 50-50 call right there. I don't know.
The referees are a lot closer than we are, so.
Yeah, and better eyes than mine, too. Better eyesight, anyway.
Getting a little long in the tooth there. AG able to tie it up.
Hey, like I said, every point is a crucial point from here on out. It's the 4th quarter, do or die game, tied up. Doesn't get any better than this, MP.
Not at all. Hawks regain the lead. Like you said earlier, can they get not just stops, but can they get multiple stops in a row?
Whichever team can do that will come away with this dub tonight.
As we see, pin down screen there. Moya, Detch coming off, feet and paint, shooting a tough one with the left.
Great defense on Dench there. That was by Ethan Rusbatch, the doctor.
High pick and roll. Rakawa, Hunt. Hunt able to catch it. Another turnover for the Hawks. They had a great stretch there where they really looked after the ball. Moya down low in the post against AJ. These two have been battling all night.
Rainbow, and he makes it. It comes down with some snowflakes on top, baby.
I have not seen that kind of shot since James Harvey was playing in the Australian NBL.
That was an incredible shot, man. Big
Back
time
and
move
forth,
from the import.
Another lead change. Rusbatch knocking down the three.
Never looked like missing.
Great action to get him something. As Rusbatch then runs into Karina. Brett all the way, scores, getting to the charity stripe. Rosine to go one more.
Yeah, I think the Hawks need to stop looking at the big shot. And remember, you got to run back down and play defense as well. They give up a three-point play. Good play from Taylor Brett. Catch him sleeping.
Well,
G.J. Gardner replay there.
And that's AG's fourth foul. And one of the things that is causing the Hawks defense just giving them fits right now is the early screens from the Rams bigs.
In transition.
Rusbatch got cleaned out by Karina, and now all of a sudden you've got a numbers advantage, and you're going the other way as Taylor Brett misses from the line.
Man, both teams are shooting like Shaquille O'Neal from the free throw line now. 50%.
Kenny directing traffic. A little bit stagnant here on the offense. Calls AG into the screen. Going under. Can't get that. AG keeping it alive.
And the bench and the Hawks bench want that bucket to count because someone hit the nets while it came out. And they might count it, but they didn't.
No, and right now it's how you see Talma's fingers get caught up in the net there. I think that was unintentional, and fortunately I sit here and I'm not playing anymore. So
I would have let that go.
I'm not. Yeah, I agree with the referees. I'm not up to date on all the FIBA rules.
And look like we're having a free throw shooting contest now.
Well, it's just a tick over two. Like you said, who can get stops and who can knock down some free throws?
That's it. Attack the rim because the referees are giving you the benefit of the doubt. They're calling the fouls. All you got to do is sit there and knock them down. And he misses. 1 point lead, though, for the Hawks.
And right now it comes down to the defensive end of the floor. Taylor Brett with a mismatch. AG, they switch that back. Kenny picks up Brett. Back to Talma. Into a little action with Walter Brown. Two-man game. Brown using fancy feet.
And that was probably the same kind of a block shot down there on the other end. So at least the referees are consistent with their calls.
Definitely calling the game the same way. As Moya earns his trip to the charity stripe. The Rams right now, 14 of 21 from the free throw line. Leaving a few points there.
Pressure's on, baby. This is when you get, the pressure builds up a little bit and those bum cheeks squeeze a little tighter.
Well, Moya needs to relax and knock these down to try and regain the lead. He ties the game up. He's got one more from the Rosine charity stripe.
Moya says he's got ice water in his veins. Nothing bothers him.
Well, nothing's bothering him right now as he gets the other one to go. And once again, lead change. Karina back in, Talma out.
Knocking him down, doing what he needs to do. Put his team up by one, the Rams, Moya.
And this is everything that this game was built to be. And really, the first time these guys played, it took an AG buzzer beater to get the Hawks over the line. And expect nothing less right now as we see Harris catching the high post, hand off to Jordan Hunt. And Jordan Hunt just threw the ball to no one.
Yeah, he was in two minds there. He should have just kept on being aggressive with the dribble.
Wide open, Brett.
Taylor Brett puts the dagger almost in it. That might be a dagger.
With 1:19 to play, 4-point game. This has been the biggest lead of the quarter almost after the Hawks came out and knocked down a couple of quick ones.
Like I said, Miles, big-time players show up in big-time games. Taylor Britt is putting his hand up to say he's one of those big-time players. He just dropped the three, crucial three, left the wrist up there like Steph Curry saying, hey, this is how you follow through, young fellas.
And this game, we've talked about it constantly throughout this whole thing, is Rams win by 3, they're in. Bay needs to win, Hawks need to win, and they're in. And right now, both teams are doing everything they can to make sure they're booking a trip to Event Fighter Stadium next week to play.
And this 1 minute and 19 seconds remaining in the game, it's going to take a while to finish this 1 minute and 19 seconds. I'm going to tell you that right now, because the Hawks will hope it's going to take longer because they're down by 4 points. The Rams just need to protect the ball right now and be aggressive offensively. And they'll come out of here with the upset win.
You're not wrong there. And AG, some pressure from the Rams. AG got ball handling duties, not for long. Kenny takes that ball back. Those two working in a two-man game. Find Harris on the high post, cuts the lead in half.
And that was a set play to get Triple H a shot one-on-one. Worked out great for the Hawks.
Kenny ducking and weaving around the big body of Mike Farina. AG trying to guard the Brit ball handling there. The ball's come off one of the Hawks. The Rams will keep it.
The Hawks are playing great defense down there, and the Rams look a little tentative on offense. Stagnant, keeping the ball up. 50.9 seconds to go, 2 points in it.
6 seconds on the shot clock. What can the Rams do here with this out-of-bounds play? They're diving Walter Brown to the rim. AG takes it away.
AG says, get that weak stuff out of here, young fella.
Emphatic fashion. 40 seconds to play. Hawks down 2. Kenny, AG working. Jordan Hunt back to Kenny. Harris. Harris has got it. Shot clock running down. Able to tie it up. 25 on the clock.
Triple H getting it done, stepping it up for the Hawks, baby, prime time player, Hiram Harris.
Hawks Bay needs to stop right here. They can come away with a stop. They have got an opportunity for one more shot.
Season's on the line, baby.
Sunday Detch giving up Moyer. Moyer for 3. Long. Walter Brown, offensive rebound. Detch misses long. We got some free basketball.
We got overtime, baby, just the way we like it, baby. The Rams had about 3 attempts. They're good looks to finish this game off, but it's only fitting that we're going into overtime now, baby. Anybody's game now, 5 minutes.
And this game was a buzzer beater last time they played. Absolute buzzer beater. So this overtime, it's got everything that we expected and more, and more by 5 minutes more.
Oh, I can tell you what, I wanted to see 5 more minutes of basketball. I don't know about you, MP. I think you did too. I don't know about the Hawks fans, though. They might not have, and the Rams either. They're fans. But hey, we get 5 more minutes of this stuff. Let's do it, baby.
No doubt. And both coaches are going to be trying to figure out what's going on in and around foul trouble, in and around who's been hot, who's not, what can we get going.
Yeah, the Hawks will be wanting to get this tempo back up a little quicker, that's for sure, and attack the basket a little bit more, I think. Work inside out. You know, they might pass the ball inside to Salt or AG, but look for those spot-up three-point shooters, and if they can get those going, Ethan Ruspats, Jerome Rokar, or Triple H, Hiram Harris, to knocking down some threes, the Rams will be in trouble.
Indeed, and there's not a lot between them statistically right now, and that just shows on the scoreboard. So, as you've mentioned, who can get stops and who can get consecutive stops, and who can knock down some big shots or big free throws.
That's it. That's all it was. It comes down to. You need more possessions right now than your opponent. And how you do that? you get stops on D.
And that last stop, AG taking it away. Just what an absolute wonderful effort.
That block shot was huge.
Well, that gave him the opportunity right there.
Definitely did. Now, the Hawks got an experienced side out there right now. You know, so 5 minutes to go. Coach is putting his most experienced players from the looks of it, barring Everard Bartlett, out there on the court. The Rams have got the young fella still out there, but he plays like he's a veteran because he has no fear for the Rams.
Watching Walter Brown and a number of the guys at under-19s that are playing in the South NBL, it's great to see so many young guys. Walter Brown played like this with those guys, and he's doing it here. Nothing phases him.
That's what you should do. All other young fellas need to be taking a page out of his book. It doesn't matter how young you are. Play your game.
And his transferable skill, he doesn't get sped up, shoots the ball when he's open, takes every opportunity that's come to him, and he's earned the minutes here for this Rams side.
Oh, without a doubt, he's earned the minutes. There'll be several. I think he's headed over to the States to go to university, but he might not be now.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got some options. I believe he's got some development opportunities in Australia as well.
Awesome.
As we see Austin getting into the paint and able to finish inside on an extremely tough one off the spin.
And he gave him the too little sign. I told JK he was too little.
Hunt able to answer back quickly with a three, taking the lead by one.
Mr. Fundamentals himself, Jordan Hunt, for three, and he looked over at coach and said, there you go, coach.
Karina under all sorts of pressure from AG. The young man, Walter Brown with the ball, hands off to Detch. Two-man game, Detch and Moya gets it back.
1 second on the shot clock. They don't get it up in time.
And that is the defensive effort that you've been talking about for the last half and a bit. Just the ability to get a stop and put people on the back foot through that defensive pressure.
Hey, better late than never. The Hawks needed that defensive stop for sure, but the Rams will be kicking themselves because that offense right there was horrible. That was a stagnant offense, and you can't do that. This is overtime, baby. Run your sets.
As we see AG to the basket, no foul. Karina comes up with that, and Austin quickly the other way.
Yeah, AG might have wanted to take that ball to the hoop a little stronger than that because you're not going to get that call, baby. You got to try to throw that down. You're 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan. Chunk it down. Dunk it.
As we see Harris here, Karina in front of him, using some pivots to get that going. Can't get it. Jared Kenny asking the question.
You call a foul on AG there.
And I believe
that's number 5?
That is number 5.
Yep. Quan AG is out. That hurts. That with 3 minutes and 35 seconds to go. The Hawks up by 1.
That is a big piece of the puzzle, but bringing Jack Salt in off the bench is a huge plus for the Hawks right now.
And referee Tim Brown is telling Jerry Kenny, hey, just calm down, sir. Don't yell at me like that.
Austin able to bring the ball up under duress from Jared Kenny. Out to Walter Brown. Walter Brown using the Mike Karina screen. Pivots, can't get it to go. Harris with a big rebound.
That was solid defense there on Walter Brown, but he did get a good look. Just finished a little short.
As Salt trying to free up Harris gets called for the offensive foul, illegal screen.
Offensive foul's been called. Way out by half court. You can't have that. Not in crucial situations like that. I know it's unfortunate, and Jack thought he was, set. You can't have that. Not right now. Not in overtime.
Not at all. As we see Austin all the way there. Harris meets him at the rim
with 2 hands. And got called for the foul. He went up with 2 hands to block that shot.
And now Austin's going to the Racine charity stripe for 2 shots.
Here on the G.J. Gardner replay, Austin, when you attack the rim hard and strong like that, that makes the referee have to make a decision. And he did it. And it turned out perfect for him. Now he's got 2 shots.
Austin misses the third.
The pressure, that's the pressure. That's when them bum cheeks squeeze a little bit tighter when he's got that pressure on, baby.
Second uses every single part of the rim right there to get that to go.
The lap of honor. The lap of honor, MP.
Few laps right there as Kenny starts to control this here as we tick just under 3 minutes to go.
And guess what? We're all tied up.
Jordan Hunt tried to keep that alive. Detch able to control that. Detch hands off to Austin. Austin just so quick, able to get in the lane and finishes high off the glass.
He is on a mission. He is going straight to the basket. I don't care who's in front of him. He made that shot and looked over at the Hawks bench like, bring it.
Hunt trying to answer back, can't get that to go. As we see Hiram Harris fighting for the ball and earning that back just through sheer effort and hustle.
That type of basketball and that type of hustle will win you games, especially in an overtime. But the Rams just need to stop here. If they can get a stop here, come down, score again, build that little lead up just a little bit, even if it's 4 points, watch out.
Like you mentioned, every point matters right now. Every basket, every free throw. As we see Kenny 5 from 3. Miss. Jack Salt, great offensive rebound.
Great rebound from the big fella right there.
Kenny ripping, kicking. Harris putting it on the floor. Stops, pivots, steps through, ties the game up.
Now that's $1 million move with a $2 million shot.
And that's huge as we're just a shade under 2 minutes here, tying the ball game up as Karina goes from 3. Short on that one. Rusbach tidies up the rebound.
You got to admit the Rams had 2 good looks last 2 possessions and just not coming up with it. Like we were saying earlier, make a miss league.
So
you make the big shots, so you miss them.
Are you more worried as the Hawks defense because they've got those good looks, or the Rams offense?
The Rams offense.
And what a sequence. Kenny all the way to the cup scores, and then we've got a steal and a quick bucket.
And the crowd is going absolutely mental. The G.J. Gardner replay. Look at that hustle from Triple H, baby. The King of Kings getting it done in the bank.
Jordan Hunt, finish and 1. Can he knock it down from the Racine charity stripe to extend this lead, and an unlikely lead at this stage, and it happened so quick, out to 5 points.
Turnovers. That's all I can tell you. Turnovers are going to hunt both for whoever loses this game right now, turnovers are going to hunt.
And the Rams have done a great job looking after the ball, as we see Hunt knock that down and push that lead out to 5.
5. That's about the largest lead the Hawks have had all game.
I believe you might be right on that one. As we see Austin get all the way, bodies hit the deck, but no call. Ball out of bounds. Hawks Bay possession.
I mean, that could have probably been a foul, flop, whatever you wanted to call, but the referees are letting them play, and they have been doing that majority of the game, just letting them play. Turnover. There go another turnover at a crucial time.
76 seconds left in this one, as we see the Rams extend some pressure. Rusbach able to handle the pressure and then take a hit from Walter Brown.
Yeah, I think the Rams want to get a few fouls under their belt now because they're only on 2 team fouls at the moment.
Yep, and overtime is only 3 fouls.
3, so they need 1. 1 more.
So that'll be the Hawks will be shooting on the next one. And
that's why they took that quick foul then, just in case they needed to.
the clock is definitely in favor of the Bay Hawks at the moment, but with the amount of runs we've had and how quick both teams can score, anything is possible in this last minute and 5 seconds.
Yeah, Austin is just chirping away at J.K. Jerry Kenny, just chirping like a bird.
And Bush, you've been involved with this league for so many years now, and I'm not trying to make you feel too old there, but
hey, I like being old.
You were a Ram at one stage?
For 8 years.
And you were a Hawk?
Both kids played, both of my kids born in Christchurch. So
and you've been involved with the Hawks. Is this one of the best battles you've seen between these two teams in all your years?
One of them, yes. We've had many.
I have no
but this
doubt.
is definitely one of them.
Jack Salt throwing it back into Moya to keep possession. What a heads-up play.
Like I said, MP, those 1%ers like that, those hustle plays, especially in overtime, win you games. On the G.J. Gardner replay, you can see that hustle play.
As we see the young fellas come out and clean up the floor where Moya took a dive and ended up on the ground. But you're right, those plays, they weren't really going the Bay's way in that first half. They managed to put a lot of those together here in the overtime period.
And look at the Rams' face after he made that play. They look like they've already been defeated.
Hiram Harris able to take Karina off the dribble, nearly turns it over.
It's 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Yes, you're right. The Hawks will keep it, but they're down at 2 seconds on the clock. I'm sure Coach Down has got something in his playbook that the guys have run through before for this exact circumstance. Late clock, side out of bounds. What can they get?
Ethan, Rusbatch.
That's what they can get. Rusbatch, long on that one. Ball bubbles around. Moya comes up with it. Gets it to Detch. Detch for three. Short. Salt. Fouled by Detch. And now desperation time for the Canterbury Rams.
It is pure desperation time for the Rams at the moment. And the Hawks have got their noses up in the air like, yeah, we can smell blood. All you got to do now, throw that ice water in the veins, knock down those clutch free throws. Ball game.
And right now it is a two-possession game. Jack Salt looking to stretch this lead. Can't get the first to go.
He'll need to make this one. He'll need to make this one.
I think every single person here in the arena would breathe a fairly big sigh of relief if he does make this one.
What do you mean breathing? Everybody's holding their breath.
There you go.
There we go. He's got one. They're up by 6 with 23 seconds to go. Taking too long to get a shot up.
Walter Brown kicks out Austin for three. Long doesn't hit anything. Salt able to grab that. Henny controlling the floor, kicks to Jordan Hunt. Foul by Karina. 6.6 left in a 6-point game. And number 6 on the free throw line.
And you got one of the best free throw shooters for the Hawks going to the line. Jordan, Mr. Fundamentals. Hunt.
Jordan Hunt, Racine foul line, knocks down the first.
And the Hawks Bay crowd can appreciate it now because they know that this is the icing on the cake.
There it is, able to knock that down. Rams call a timeout. And we're here, and I've just been informed, first overtime game of the season.
This is the first overtime game? That's unbelievable, man.
That's unbelievable considering the fact of how important this game is, as the Hawks hold an 8-point lead with just 6 seconds to go.
Lock it up, baby. Here come the Hawks in the finals.
Well, this win will mean they come away with the win here. That means they are booking their ticket to Event Fighter Stadium for the finals starting on Wednesday.
And hats off to the Rams. You know, former team of mine for 8 years. You know, I got a soft spot always for the Rams. They fought hard. But towards that end of the fourth quarter and this overtime, shots just weren't falling. And they've turned the ball over in crucial parts of the game.
And they've done a great job looking after the ball for the majority of the game, but the turnovers that they had, right, you said, crucial times, and that's caused them to go from up to down in a fairly quick,
and I think
quick time frame.
I think at least 3 times the Hawks have stole the ball when they were taking the ball full court from the baseline.
That extra added pressure. Let's see what Judd Flavel's got here out of the timeout for his Rams. Now,
yeah,
it's not impossible.
No.
It's just really, really hard right now. As you see Moya catching the corner. Missed that 3. Kenny. And there's the ball game.
And that'll do it, folks. The Hawks are locked in to the finals.
95-87. Hawks take that one. Thank you for sticking with us. Clifton Bush, thank you very much. We're heading to the double header up in Auckland. Thank you very much and see you guys soon.